New products.
What are the new products?
Okay, new products time. All right, first
up, we got this badge that you are fashionably wearing.
Oh, yeah.
It's right here.
So you are...
I kind of wanted...
Yeah. Do you want to show it on the overhead?
Oh, yeah, it's on the overhead.
This is a beautiful badge. It's the ESD badge.
Hello. It's not ESD safe. It's made out of thread.
Yeah.
It's an iron-on badge, and it's like you got the little cute ESD logo that you see on everything.
Yep.
You can put this on yourself. You can put this on your bag. You can attach it to your electronics.
Yeah.
Be careful. Anti-static.
I just wear this because I don't want anyone to touch me. So next up.
See, it could go either way. It could be like that you are the dissipation.
Yeah.
You know, like you're the anti-static.
It could be that you're safe, or it could be you're not safe.
It can go the other way.
What are those?
These are capacitors.
Yeah. Okay. Capacitors.
Yeah, we have a little 10-pack of ceramic capacitors. These are so popular. We use them all the time, like magic fairy dust. These are fantastic. There's like 10. There's like 2 2x5.
They will come as a long strip, but for the picture.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's also kind of handy to check these out. Yeah, they come in a pack of 10 because this doesn't make sense to have one. Usually you want to have a bunch. And they come on a strip. You can cut them short or keep them long and pull them out of the tape. And yeah, these are nice 0.1 microfarad capacitors. Put them on your power supplies for filtration.
Smooth it on out.
Smooth it on out. If you're doing electronics and you're getting really flaky results for some reason, especially analog stuff, sometimes capacitor will just like fix you right up.
When in doubt, cap it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm working on the slogan.
What? We also
need
added
jingles at Adafruit.
Yeah, we need jingles.
Yeah.
We also added a pack of 1N4001 kind of classic 1 amp.
We're in the component biz now.
Well, I wanted to add a couple of. There's a couple of parts that are just people like.
Well, these are the parts that are in the kits too. It's just
They're
now
in the
you can
kits,
get them as a pack individually.
But the thing is, because we were selling stuff that would use this, but it wasn't part of it because I was like, well, it doesn't make sense to have it like so. For example, like we have like solenoids or power supplies, and so it's handy to have like a diode with them, a power diode for power blocking or.
Making a bridge rectifier.
A bridge rectifier or like flyback protection. And so the question is, well, should we include it with the Shockey or should we include a Shockey or one of these with the solenoid? Like, well,
you just get these. They're perfect to put in your drawers.
So we decided, like, we'll just have a pack of 10 and you pick one out for like, $2 and then you're done.
You're done. You have diodes for a long time.
Yeah, so these are handy. These are good power diodes. We use them all the time for reverse polarity protection. So on all the kits we have, when there's a power jack, there's always one of these guys in series, so that if you accidentally plug in a center negative adapter, which are pretty rare.
I have that problem though all the time though because
you do music stuff.
Because I make my own. I put my own jack on the wall wart. So I have like a bunch of jacks, and I'm like, which wire is positive?
Right, the ones that you can switch up. Those are definitely.
I often just cut it though, and then I don't know at all, and I can do it with check it with my multimeter, or I can just know that if I plug it in backwards, it's not going to blow up.
Yeah, another thing is music stuff is often centered negative.
Yeah, and I do have like power supplies from keyboards and whatever.
Which is really frustrating because everybody else uses center positive.
And I'm dyslexic, so when I'll do the multimeter test and then go to solder it, and I'll do it backwards anyway. It's just.
Anyways, diode will fix you right up.
Backwards
when in doubt, diode it out.
Put a diode on it.
Okay, next up, LEDs.
LEDs. Okay, so these are some. I just did a shipment of LEDs, and so we got these super bright LEDs.
Try not to bump the table, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we've got
seasick apparently.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Get seasick. So we've got these. Sorry, just like get this battery out of here. So we've got these clear LEDs, and these are super bright white LEDs.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's the end of that camera. Yeah, and this is actually also like not even powered all the way. It's like a 3-volt battery. You should power it with 3.4 volts for ultimate brightness. But these are super bright, so narrow beam white LEDs. So they're really good if you're wanting to illuminate something or make like a flashlight. Or blind someone, or I don't even know what.
Or make a bike light.
Make a bike light or a headlight or something. So these are really handy, and they're just incredibly bright. They're like over 10,000 millicandela.
Someone said there's a built-in resistor.
No, apparently these don't have built-in resistors, so you would get like a 22 ohm resistor or 220 ohm resistor, depending on what your voltage source is. You can use the awesome Circuit Playground app to calculate it, or any online resistor calculator app.
Okay, and I have a photo.
It's bright.
That's what it looks like.
It's pretty bright.
Pretty
That's
photo.
what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I recognize that photo.
Big product announcement.
The other
for
new product. This one's
week.
really exciting.
Yeah.
And that's
Becky's hand is making the rounds.
This is Becky's hand.
As long as I keep my nails polished, they keep asking me to put them in the product photos.
Yeah.
Justin Roberts came over the other day and she was like, I recognized your fingers from some new Adafruit products.
People thought we were just excited to have Becky here because of her raw talent. Nope,
She has a great manicure.
Hand model.
Hand model.
You still have the same manicure going on.
Yeah, it's still going.
That gel stuff does not come out.
I know. This is 1 week.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's supposed to last another week. It's starting to grow out a little bit.
Let me just say, I am so happy that our electronics do not have like hairy man hands.
Yeah, you are not permitted.
No, it's great. It's like I don't want to buy electronics with the hairy man hands. I just don't. Yeah, I don't.
We have nice lady hands.
Yeah, it's nice.
You like
Well,
lady
I think it sends a nice message with every picture of like super nerdy electronics. It's like obviously being handled by a lady. It's cool.
I
a
just
like
lady who's designing electronics.
Yeah.
You guys actually make the stuff and you put the stuff together and you do it. I think that's cool. If it
But
was
I bite my nails, so that's why Becky has to take the hand photos now.
yeah, and I'm made
cool
out of
with that.
scars.
I keep telling my dog, we're working on some training with my dog, and she likes to claw at my hands, and I go, come on,
Hand model.
hand model, be
Yeah.
a good dog.
Okay, let's show the sensor already.
Okay, look at this thing.
Okay, so this is the
awesome.
fingerprint sensor. So this is actually a pretty complicated sensor. It's not like
Not
one
just like
part.
a photo resistor.
It's not like a photoresistor or even like a temperature sensor or thermistor. It's actually a full-on module, and it has like a DSP and a camera, and it actually does like a lot of thinking on its own. So you talk to it over TTL UART, so TXRX at 9600 baud or whatever, and you can adjust the baud rate. And you send it like packets of data, and so you can send it a packet saying, hey, take a picture, and then ask, did you see a fingerprint, and then can you figure out which ID number the fingerprint is. So inside it can store like a couple hundred different fingerprints, and you assign IDs to them, and then you can ask it if it, you enroll these fingers, and then later on you can query if it's matching one of those fingerprints.
My friend Haley had a question. Her dad apparently does fingerprint analysis stuff, and she wanted to know like how many points, is it 5 or 10 point analysis?
I don't know precisely, but it hashes. It's like I don't know the details of the code because they don't publish the internal code. But it does.
You'd think it would be an advertising point for the sensor.
It takes a hash of 256 bytes, and what it does is it tries to find features, but I don't know how many features.
Okay,
that's what they're called.
I'm gonna hit you some questions. Capacitive, optical.
This is optical.
Okay, next up. What's the local storage?
It's like a little flash memory on there.
How many fingerprints can you enroll?
Like a couple hundred. I have it in the tech details, but it's like more than 200.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Or maybe it's about 200. It's a lot. More than you have fingers available.
Probably more than you have employees.
Becky's working on a video, but we're going to do a live
Yeah, we'll do a little
demonstration.
demo.
Live demo is cooler than the video. I mean,
Demo.
maybe I should take a little video of it after this.
Yeah.
Mine just lights up a green LED when it recognizes the
So I just
finger.
wanted to show. So when it's waiting for a fingerprint, there's a little LED that automatically lights up, and these are the 4 wires. You just give it 5 volts ground, and then RX and TX, and we have an Arduino library written so that you can just use it out of the box. So, for example, if I put my thumb, it'll say, okay, left thumb found. And then if I switch it around, and I just want to show that you can enroll 2 fingers. Hold on.
Which one?
And now it finds the right thumb.
Oh, cool.
But then, if Becky comes over here,
Oh no, I'm not enrolled. I'm not enrolled.
and then we put her thumb on it.
No!
No!
So that means
the alarm going off.
robots come and attack Becky.
Yeah.
So it will tell you. There's actually a lot of information in it in the library that I wrote. It can give you a lot of details, like it can give you confidence values.
Yeah,
So-
I found that really interesting.
So it
So it's an
won't.
invalid hand model. That's actually that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's the bees.
Yeah.
Oh no, bees.
Oh, can you fool it with the gummy bear? We haven't tried it
We
yet.
should try gummy
Yeah,
bear.
you can press fingerprints on gummy bears and try to fool
There's-
sensors.
So if anybody asks you to touch a gummy bear, don't do it.
No!
My
What do you
my
mean?
gummy bear is my password.
Would you
Verify
like
me.
this gummy bear? Oh no, I'm gonna need that
Yeah.
back.
Can you press this really hard? Okay, no, don't eat it. Give it back.
So this is used for safes, usually I think for gun safes and also for money safes and also for like hotel safes and stuff. That's what this module is usually used for. It has a couple security settings. It comes with like 1 to 5 sensitivity. So if you can set it's like 3, so it's like medium sensitivity. And it has like a reject ratio that's really low. Like it's like 0.01%, but like, I mean, that means like statistically, I mean, if you're trying to fool it, I don't know whether, I haven't tried all these techniques, although I hope somebody does try all these cool techniques.
Yeah.
But you can set the security rating. You can also do confidence values. So if you're, you can tell you, okay, with a confidence of like 0 to 255, how confident am I that this is the correct match? And like we definitely, like I messed around with it quite a while. I couldn't get it to really be tricked too easily. So it's definitely, I think this is trustworthy enough to.
And you wrote a fantastic library, so if folks are considering
easy
this.
To use.
Yeah.
It's super easy, and you can. There's a version that is like, just tell me the ID number. And there's a version that's like super detailed that tells you at every step, because like sometimes it. One of the things is that if you move your finger while it's taking the photo, it'll be smudgy. It'll tell you if that's the problem, or it'll tell you like, oh, was a finger even detected or not.
That's useful for debugging and for your own use, and then if you want, and then the more vague one is better for like saying like, you're not allowed in. There's also
you can do like lockouts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's software that I also show you how to use, and it actually shows you an image of the fingerprint.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's really cool.
I'm impressed. The small package. It's basically a scanner. It's cool, and it does all this stuff inside of it.
So this is like the flash memory. There's the DSP is actually underneath. You can't see it. Actually, it's quite warm. It uses a lot of power. Unfortunately, it's about 120 milliamps. And the reason for that is because there really is a DSP in here that's doing some pretty intense analysis.
Does it scan your? I don't think it scans your fingerprint when you scan upside down. Because I've been using it. I was holding it like a joystick almost and just sticking.
Oh no, it does. It works upside down.
It does. Okay, great.
Yeah, I think it flips because it doesn't know which way people put it.
That's cool.
Okay.
So probably or whatever really hash it's using, it's symmetric. But yeah.
Okay.
Let's fingerprint sensor.
Next up, this is a big one. We sold out of our first round of our GPS breakout board because they're awesome and folks love them.
Yeah.
And now we have the next batch. We're working on them. We'll have them in just a couple of days. But if you order, we put them in the store now because we're working on them right now. I can almost see them around the corner over there. This is our new upgraded one, and it's exciting. We're calling it something a little different. It's almost the same, but we're calling it something a little different. What is the name of it, lady?
This is the ultimate GPS.
This is the ultimate GPS.
This is Adafruit Ultimate GPS.
And how is it different?
Well, it uses a different chipset. So what happened is that I was really excited to have those GPS modules that we have in the store. These guys, we got them in like 2 weeks ago, and they were totally awesome. And then we sold out. And then so I contacted the company and said, hey, like we need more. And they're like, oh, by the way, you're using like this module, and we have like a new one. And I was like, wait, what do you mean you have a new one?
What?
And they're like, yeah, we just came out with this. Like it's the latest chipset, and it's pin compatible, but it has all these extra things. And I was like, OMG, hook me up.
And also, didn't you ask them to lift the altitude restriction?
Yeah, and so while I was doing that, they were also like, oh, by the way, we can also like do all these custom things. And I was like, that's exciting.
High altitude balloons.
So so this is a new. It looks identical to the old module, but there's actually like one little notch that's a little bit different, but it doesn't matter because like we're gonna make it clear in the packaging. Mm-hmm. So this is the MT3339, not the 3329. So it just like came out like 6 months ago or like a year ago, and it has a bunch of awesome things. First off, it's half the power, so that's like the first thing. So it uses only 20 milliamps while tracking, and 25 during acquisition. So 20 milliamps is actually very low. Before I hadn't seen any modules that used less than 40. So this is about half the power that most GPS modules have used. So that's like the first awesome thing about this upgrade. The second awesome thing about this upgrade is I asked the company that makes the modules, since they write the firmware when they can recompile and update it, I said, hey, can you take out the altitude restriction? And they said, yes, we have to keep the speed restriction in.
No missiles.
Yes, you can either go, so the restriction has to go slower than 500 miles an hour and less than 60,000 feet. Mm-hmm. But actually, the requirement is either or. Usually it's and, but it can't actually is or. So they said, we'll keep the speed restriction and we can remove the altitude restriction. I said, yeah, please do that. The only thing is that we haven't tested it because we can't set off balloons here in Manhattan. So we're going to have somebody test these for us.
Yeah.
So while
if you drive upstate a little bit.
I trust them greatly, but until we actually verify them, if it's a critical application, like don't depend on this yet. I want to
surgery in space.
Space surgery, yeah.
Don't do space surgery with this module yet.
I'm pretty confident that they actually do it.
And there is one thing I wanted to show everyone. So we were doing testing today in New York City, and it acquired satellites really fast. And
it actually did the acquisition. Yeah. The time to first fix was like 45 seconds.
And you can see
Manhattan.
where we walked. This is exactly where we walked. It's actually really accurate. It's fantastic.
Well, considering that we're walking in like the canyons of downtown Manhattan, which is pretty awful for GPS.
The Windows software comes with, you can actually, it saves out a file that opens up.
I haven't even talked about it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We're not
well,
done.
I need to show that. Okay.
You went crazy.
Okay.
So another fun thing.
Crazy.
I
hate when
you went like full hog.
Feature.
So the other two things, the other thing, and then the third thing, which we filled in.
What's the third thing?
The third thing is it has built-in data logging capability, which is really neat. So instead of having to have a microcontroller with a storage card or like flash or a micro SD, it actually has a little bit of flash inside, 64K of flash, which isn't much, but it's okay for
it's just storing
compressed data.
Yeah.
It's ultra compressed. It actually stores like the raw data. It'll actually log up to 16 hours of GPS data for you inside the module. So first off, you save a lot of power. Second, you don't have to worry about if you get power loss. SD cards, I don't like that, but with the flash, you don't have to worry about like, oh, did you write out the card or did you lose like the data? And third, you don't have to add, like, it's super small. You don't have to add the extra card.
I'm going to do a project.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a couple questions?
Well, no, I want to say a couple of things before, because probably the questions are what I'm going to say. Okay. The only thing is you do need to have a microcontroller to send the command to start the logging. It doesn't.
Annoying, but that's okay.
It's a little annoying.
32 board, right? It's really
so you can use any microcontroller to send the command to say as soon as it boots up to say start, because it's not like it saves it. If you lose power, it doesn't. It's not going to know that it should keep logging. Once it loses power, it stops logging. So you do have to have a microcontroller to bootstrap it. But then the microcontroller can go to sleep. So that's very handy. Another thing is about the data logging is it only logs longitude, latitude, altitude, height, time, and date. It doesn't log anything else.
Why does it need everything else? You can get velocity from all of the points.
Yeah, I did that on purpose because you can choose, and that's hard coded in. So everything else, like your heading and your velocity, I figured you can calculate that from the
you do, and it does
data.
Get calculated from
so
the rest of the
so that's actually pretty good. Another thing is it only logs once every 15 seconds, and you can't change the logging rate. That's also hard coded, and it also only logs when it gets a fix. So only when it has valid data, every 15 seconds it logs. But I think that this is actually, that's like 99% of logging projects are like, oh, I just want to get the location and the altitude and the time and the date. And then every 15 seconds, I mean, it's not like super precision, but the trade-off is because the flash and the chip is so small, that allows you to have 15 hours or more of logging. And then there's ways to adjust it so that depending on your speed, it can not log if you haven't moved. It'll only log if you moved. I haven't quite figured out how to do that, but then it will...
I can see how that can be useful.
Yeah, I have to figure that out. But we definitely just tested the every 15 seconds, and that's the... and then you can export it.
So that's great for portable applications where you want to like carry it around with you like this, and I'm going to put it in like a purse. And
the thing that's cool about this is,
but what if you wanted to put it on like something that did have constant power, like a delivery truck? Say we had an Adafruit delivery truck, and we wanted to track it, and
well, the handy thing about this is it's really low power, so you could actually like run it off of a solar cell. You know, like that's one of the nice things about this module is it's really, really small. It's high precision.
What happens after the 16 hours? You have to dump it.
After it stops.
And then how do you make it start again? And how do you get the information?
You can. There are commands you can send to it to like erase the flash and dump the data. You can use the software. The easiest way to use it is the software, the free software that comes with it.
So you have to plug it into the computer?
Yeah, you plug it into the computer and you dump it, but then it gives you like a nice Google map like this. It'll actually like do all the parsing for you. It gives you an XML file and then it'll also generate a Google map. But I'll have an Arduino library that'll parse out also if necessary.
I'm going to do a project, so I got to ask, I don't have a Windows box. What do I do?
You'll probably have to use the Arduino code.
Okay.
That's not so bad.
For the fingerprint sensor.
Like, like the fingerprint sensor. Like I made sure that the Windows only software was like totally awesome, but if you didn't, you could always use the Arduino code, which I'll finish writing it. I'm not done. That's why we haven't released the product yet. Anyways,
one quick question. So it has the same specs as the previous one. How is it lower power?
It's a new chipset that uses less power. So it's the old chipset, the 3329 is a couple of years old, and as the chips get better, they have lower voltage requirements internally, and so they actually have lower current requirements, but it's still as sensitive But it's just like the first GPS modules. I remember they used to use like 100 milliamps. Then they came down to 60, then 40, and now this one is like ultra low power 20. But it got excellent time to fix. It has great it got great sensitivity, and it worked really well. And yeah, I mean, like the modules are getting better and better. I think a lot of people are still fixated on like, oh, Surf 3 is what I should use because that's like what people use. But the Surf 3 is like probably like a decade old at this point for the Surf family. And there's
5-volt compatible?
Yeah, this is the Breakout is 5-volt compatible.
It's the ultimate GPS.
It's ultimate.
Yeah. It's ultimate.
Everything you want and more.
What's the little silver dot on the top of the GPSs?
Oh, that's the antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the antenna connector.
3.32?
Yeah, you can use 3.3 or 5-volt. It's an ultra low dropout.
And then 1 PPS?
It does not have a PPS output.
Okay. And then someone asked UART?
Yeah, this is a UART
Okay.
interface.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
We're done with new products. That was new products.